We're back on the Morning Brew with Friends with Kenny Chavez, one of my old friends. And
Orale, happy fiesta, happy Cinco de Mayo.
do you have a good grito for Cinco de Mayo? I cannot do a good grito. I've been trying to teach myself, but
I really don't.
me either. Like it's well, next time. But I love these. Where did you find these?
We got these at Mass.
These are intense. These are the best
Oh, they look good
ever.
on you.
I love this. I need to grow my mustache out just so that I can wear these. This is amazing. Are you guys be selling these at the folk market now?
I'm just gonna wear.
You're just gonna be wearing these. These are the best. I love this. I want to start a new persona now, which is wearing these. That'd be fun. But you guys on the 7th are having this big thing. It's the 10th anniversary. You were telling me?
10th anniversary of our Cinco de Mayo Folk Art and Music Festival.
That is awesome. So I didn't realize it'd been going on 10 years.
We didn't either. We're like, wow, 10 years? That's incredible. It's a nice feat. So we're really proud of that, and we're
not many things can survive for 10 years.
Not many things can happen out for 10 years. You're right. So we're really happy about that. We've got a great musical lineup for the day. We've got Alpha Blues starting out the morning, and then midday we have Mariachi Amor Eterna. They're going to be performing at 2:30.
All the guys around here know that I love a good mariachi.
Oh,
man.
these guys are great. They performed with us 10 years ago, and in honor of our 10th anniversary, they're coming back.
Oh, that's cool.
Again. And then closing out the show, we'll have Christina Her and the Wild Frontier performing at 2:30.
Great. I think most people go for the art, though.
No, most people go for the art because I handpick really cool, incredible artists.
We've got some of it here laid out on the table.
Yeah.
And point out, what is the... this one looks super familiar here. This
is Denise Alvarez. She's showing with us for the first time this year. She's an incredible painter.
I've seen her work maybe at the rail yards.
Yes, she is going to be an artist at the rail yards, I believe, this year. We have Kerry Mader. He's going to be at the rail yards, and he'll be with us he's been with us for 3 years now. Being with us for 10 years now would be Michelle Montano. She's a tile painter. And also Jay Heavey. He does wonderful mixed media, recycled angels and devils. And his wife, Janet Heavey. She's from Cochiti Pueblo, and she does these beautiful figurines. Cynthia Cook.
Oh, of course.
From Albuquerque. Yes, long-standing, wonderful artist. She'll be joining us.
What I'm really amazed at, too, you started this thing 10 years ago. And I think I was writing about it. And it grew out of some of the other folk art festivals, and there was the folk art movement that had kind of launched in the mid-2000s.
Yes.
And there was Cork Fest.
There is still Cork Fest.
And there's a handful of these other things.
Steve White still has his Yard Fest going on at his house. It's called something else, I can't remember, but Steve White has his event. But Quirky has his event. And
you were able to kind of pick up on that scene.
Yeah,
and
the first couple of years, my partner David
it.
Fisher and I, who promotes my show and helps get the word out, we had the show in our backyard the first 2 years.
Right.
And that was great, but we wanted to move it around. My idea was to
What was happening, though? There was something 10 years ago where all of the folk market people, you and Goldie Garcia...
I think we needed an outlet, I don't know. And
there wasn't a good place for, especially in the springtime, to get all this out of your system, right?
Maybe
and
they
make
needed
stuff.
somebody like me to organize it and get it going on.
Maybe that was what it was. But there was a thing, and it's you guys, it's Quirky, it's a handful of others who've been able to carry this folk art movement along in Mexico.
I'm so tight with these guys. They've been in my show back, through the years. Quirky and Steve White, and I love these guys. They're really important people. Cynthia Cook, Goldie Garcia, really important people in my life as an artist.
Absolutely. What is it about the folk art kind of movement here in New Mexico, though? I mean, we have we have fine art.
Honestly, I feel Albuquerque is so filled up with so many incredible artistic outlets and medias.
Right.
All over downtown, 4th Street. There's a lot of stuff going on, and the folk art movement is strong. The recycle movement is even stronger.
Right.
So you kind of combine the both, and then you have jewelry people and textile people doing recycled and refashioned, and I think it's just kind of taken off still. I really don't feel it's met its peak yet.
Right.
And I think as generations go on with younger people finding out about art, they're going to pull into this and gravitate towards this as well.
How do you find the artists? I mean, are these just people you know through
I've known
the
these
world?
People for years. Denise is probably the newest person I've met, and she's a wonderful lady.
And you've still known her 10 years.
I've still known her for a while, yeah. And I don't know. I think a lot of these artists, we do other shows. The big show is Spanish Market coming up.
Right.
Traditional Spanish Market and contemporary Hispanic Market. They joined forces last weekend of July. And a lot of my people in my show are from those shows.
Right.
Jerry Montoya is coming out from Grants. He's in traditional Spanish market. Cynthia Cook and I. And
do they tailor their work to the Cinco de Mayo show to make it more folk arty?
No, not at all. They pull in stuff just from all what they do, you know.
Yeah.
And I've been talking to the artists. Yesterday I called a handful of them, and they told me they've been producing. They're making stuff for the show, and looking forward to being in the show. So I'm looking forward to seeing their new stuff for my show, you know. And I'll go out and visit everybody and see what they're doing.
That'll be a big day. So you have 40 artists?
40 artists this year.
Is that the biggest?
That's the most I've had in a while. Usually it's about 32 to 36, you know, but this year I have 40. So,
Great.
And I have them on 2 pastures. I have them on one field pasture that's closer to 4th Street, and then another group of artists on the West pasture. About 10 more artists on the West pasture.
Very cool,
so.
and I know that that's next to the taco window.
Yeah, real close to the
That's
taco
how I
window.
know where that is.
In fact, Cherie Montoya from Farm and Table, she'll be putting out her special taco fiesta stand. She's serving barbacoa tacos and Frito pies and all kinds of goodies.
You made me hungry already.
I know, I haven't had breakfast yet. And also La Parada will be open as well, and she has a great assortment of Mexican imports, local art, Talavera pottery, flowing out the store into her yard, you know, so it's really nice.
It's a cool little spot.
Have you heard of Soul Harvest Farms?
Not yet.
They're the farm that's supporting the vegetables to Farm and Table.
Oh, okay. Because I know that Farm and Table specializes
So it's almost like
in
3 businesses on that property, and they'll be a part of our event as well.
Oh, good. Will they be selling some of their produce?
They're going to be selling. They'll have a booth with all their produce for sale.
That's great.
Yeah.
Because I know the Farm and Table restaurant idea is literally farm to table.
And it's behind her restaurant. Sometimes they have to get things from other sources, but most of it comes from that field right behind her restaurant.
Very cool. And here's some pictures. Is this last year's market, I'm assuming?
Last year's market, yeah.
And
it's taken from the balcony.
Super big. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
It's a wonderful, lush property.
Oh, there's Goldie.
There's Goldie.
Everyone knows Goldie Garcia.
Queen.
Yeah. And is that you and some other folks
Me and
there?
David, my co-producer, and Cherie Montoya.
Yeah.
She's the owner of Farm and Table.
Yeah, there's lots and lots of people, lots of stuff to do all day long. You can hang out and listen to music all afternoon.
I hope
buy
we
some
see a lot
art.
of people. We're praying for good weather on Saturday.
Right,
so.
no doubt. Well, I know, and one of my favorite things too at folk art markets like this and at markets like this is you get a chance to actually meet the artist. That's a really rare thing. You
it's
know,
an important thing. You know,
very often you just go to a store and you say, "I like that," and
there's no feedback.
You swipe your credit card and you walk out the door with it, right?
Yeah, right.
And here you can go, you talk to the artist, and what always happens is like I talk to them about something, and then they say, "Oh, if you like this, I can make it for you in that way that you know."
Yeah, commissions.
And artists love it. I love it. It's super great.
Yeah,
you know,
one-on-one.
Right.
It's
and
really special.
It's a rare chance to actually meet the artist and hear their story too. You know, you get a chance to hear why they started making art, where it comes from.
Right.
You know.
Right.
In artists like you get to hear about how you source all of your recycled materials for your pieces, right?
Right.
And people, I think, if they don't ask you, you're not going to know.
They're not going to know. A lot of them do ask me, where do you get all your metal to make your pieces? And well, this is a rusty piece, so a lot of this stuff was hanging out in my backyard, rusting out, almost for 4 or 5 years before I even was able to cut it up and use it. Primarily, I'm using new metal, and my new metal comes from little cans, tin cans, lard cans, coffee cans that I get at thrift stores right now here in Albuquerque. In the past, I would go to Iowa, What Cheer, Iowa, in the middle of cornfields, in the middle of nowhere.
And find these old tin cans?
And find these tin cans on the dollar. Everything's cheap, you know, and I cut it all flat, and I put it in a suitcase, and I come home on the Amtrak with all my metal.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
That's cool. Well, we'll be back in a couple of seconds on the Morning Brew. This is great. I'm going to put these back on.
Yeah, put them back on.
These are fun. I feel like I have to be serious when I wear these.
No, not serious at all. Whoa.